Have you ever noticed how people cling to their beliefs even when proven wrong? What if I told you your brain is secretly filtering reality just to protect what you already think? Every news article, every social media post, every argument, you see only what confirms your opinion. And the scary part? You might be doing it too without realizing it. This is not just stubbornness. It's a psychological phenomenon that shapes decisions, relationships, and even society. Imagine ignoring solid evidence just because it challenges your comfort zone. You think you're logical, rational, but your mind might have a hidden agenda. Scientists call this confirmation bias, and it's everywhere. Once you understand it, you can spot it in yourself and in everyone around you. Stick around, because what you're about to learn could change how you see the world. Think about the last time you argued with someone online. You both had access to the same facts, but somehow neither of you budged. Or recall when a friend recommended a product and you immediately believed it, even though reviews were mixed. Why do we do this? Why do we trust information that fits our beliefs and ignore what contradicts them? The answer lies deep in our psychology. Confirmation bias is our brain's way of protecting us from uncomfortable truths. It's like having a mental filter that highlights what you already agree with. This bias isn't always bad. It can make decision-making faster. But the downside is significant. It traps us in echo chamber. In politics, it strengthens partisan beliefs. On social media, it reinforces fake news. In relationships, it can make misunderstandings worse. Even scientists are not immune. Studies show experts sometimes favor data that supports their hypotheses. Imagine scrolling through your feed and seeing only posts that match your worldview. Your mind feels validated, but your perspective shrinks. You stop questioning. You stop learning. Confirmation bias doesn't just affect others. It affects you personally. Have you ever ignored advice from a friend because it challenged your opinion? Have you ever rejected a solution at work, not because it was wrong, but because it conflicted with your ideas? That's your brain at work, protecting your ego and comfort. It's subconscious, automatic, and very powerful. Even tiny decisions are influenced by it, like which restaurant to try or which movie to watch. It affects investments, health choices, and even parenting decisions. And the most dangerous part? You rarely notice it happening. Your mind feels rational, confident, and correct. Meanwhile, it's quietly filtering reality to match your preconception. Understanding this is crucial because knowledge is the first step to change. Once you know confirmation bias exists, you can start seeing it in action. You begin questioning why you believe what you believe. You begin spotting patterns in others' behavior. And this awareness sets the stage for deeper learning about the concept itself. Confirmation bias is a type of cognitive bias, a systematic error in thinking. It means we favor information that confirms our existing beliefs and ignore or reject evidence that contradicts them. The term was first studied by psychologist Peter Wason in the 1960s. Wason discovered that people naturally seek evidence that supports their assumption. It's not about being lazy or stubborn. It's how our brains are wired. Our mind wants consistency. Contradictions feel uncomfortable. We prefer a sense of certainty, even if it's wrong. Think of it like wearing tinted glasses that color everything you see. These mental glasses make you perceive facts selectively. For example, if you believe a diet works, you notice stories that support it and dismiss those that don't. If you think your favorite politician is honest, you highlight their achievements and ignore scandals. Even scientists, doctors, and experts can fall prey to it. It operates on autopilot, often without our awareness. Confirmation bias is closely related to other cognitive biases like the backfire effect and selective perception. The backfire effect happens when contradicting evidence actually strengthens your belief. Selective perception means you literally interpret ambiguous information in a way that fits your view. Together, these biases create a mental environment resistant to change. Social media algorithms exploit confirmation bias by showing content aligned with your preferences. Advertising uses it by presenting products that reinforce what you already believe you need. Even friendships and communities are shaped by it. We gravitate toward people who share our opinion. We feel discomfort around those who challenge us. The bias is not inherently evil. It's a survival mechanism. In early human history, sticking to what you knew could mean the difference between life and death. But in today's complex world, it can trap us in ignorance. Confirmation bias also affects memory. We remember details that support our beliefs better than those that contradict them. It affects judgment, decision-making, and problem-solving. Recognizing the bias is the first step toward thinking more objectively. Once you understand it, You can question your assumptions and test your beliefs. You can seek evidence you might have ignored before. You can have more meaningful discussions without automatic defensiveness. This concept is not just theoretical. It has real-life consequences in relationships, work, politics, and personal growth. To understand how confirmation bias works, imagine your brain as a detective looking for clues. But this detective has a favorite suspect. Every clue is analyzed to support that suspect, while contradictory evidence is ignored or dismissed. Your mind does this naturally to reduce mental discomfort. It's called cognitive consistency. Your brain wants beliefs and reality to match. Consider debates online. You see a claim you disagree with. Instead of evaluating it objectively, your brain quickly searches for reasons to reject it. Even scientific studies can be interpreted selectively. People often highlight the parts that support their view and ignore the rest. This bias can make learning new information harder. You might hear a compelling argument, but dismiss it because it conflicts with your belief. In relationships, confirmation bias can create miscommunication. If you believe someone is untrustworthy, you notice their mistakes but overlook their good deed. Your perception becomes skewed, even if the person is mostly honest. In workplaces, managers can fall into confirmation bias. They notice employees' failures more than successes if they expect underperformance. In politics, voters ignore facts that contradict their preferred candidate. Social media magnifies this effect with algorithm-driven content. You scroll through posts and see only what aligns with your opinion. Visualization helps. Imagine two filters on a camera lens. One highlights information you like, the other blurs the rest. Studies back this up. Watson's 1960 experiment asked participants to find a number rule, but most looked only for confirming sequences. Another study showed people favor news articles supporting their political beliefs, regardless of accuracy. Even memory is affected. You recall information confirming your beliefs better than contradictory evidence. This makes changing opinions extremely challenging. Confirmation bias can lead to polarization, misinformation, and poor decision-making. Recognizing the bias in yourself is the first step. Ask yourself, am I seeking the truth or just evidence I like? Challenge your assumptions deliberately. Test your beliefs with opposing viewpoint. Discuss with people holding different opinions. By doing this, you train your brain to see a more balanced picture. The goal is not to eliminate bias completely. It's impossible, but to reduce its influence. Once you start noticing it in action, you gain control over your thinking. One key sign of confirmation bias is ignoring facts that contradict your beliefs. You may feel uncomfortable or defensive when presented with opposing evidence. Another sign is selective exposure. You only consume news, articles, or social media content that matches your views. You might notice yourself dismissing expert opinions without proper evaluation, or twisting information to make it fit your existing beliefs. Pay attention if you frequently argue online and rarely change your mind. Notice if you tend to remember details that support your viewpoint better than those that challenge it. Do you exaggerate flaws in people or ideas you dislike? That's another clue. When someone presents a different perspective, do you immediately think they are wrong? Watch for groupthink tendencies in your social circle. Do you surround yourself with people who always agree with you? Notice if you seek reassurance from like-minded individuals. You might reinterpret ambiguous information to match your beliefs. For example, reading a neutral article but only remembering the parts that align with your opinion. Overconfidence in your knowledge can also indicate bias. You might feel certain you're right, even with incomplete evidence. Pay attention if you ignore or undervalue contradictory data. Do you dismiss challenges as biased or fake without evaluating them? Do you instantly validate information that confirms your expectations? Do you habitually downplay evidence that disagrees with you? When debating, do you focus more on proving yourself right than understanding the other person? Do you find comfort in repetitive patterns that reinforce your worldview? Notice if your judgments are influenced more by feelings and facts. Do you rely heavily on anecdotes rather than objective evidence? Check if your memory favors confirming events over contradicting one. Do you rationalize failures or mistakes to fit your beliefs? Do you overemphasize minor details that support your opinion? Watch for resistance to change even when faced with strong proof. Do you avoid information that challenges your comfort zone? Do you explain away contradictions instead of reconsidering your stance? Do you feel tension or irritation when confronted with alternative views? Do you favor sources that praise your perspective while ignoring critical voices? Identifying these signs is the first step toward awareness. Awareness helps you start questioning your beliefs instead of blindly accepting them. Once you spot these patterns, you can actively work to reduce their influence. The first step in defending against confirmation bias is awareness. Acknowledge that everyone is susceptible, including yourself. Deliberately seek out information that challenges your belief. Read articles or watch videos from sources you usually avoid. Ask yourself, am I evaluating this fairly or only what I want to see? Practice active listening in conversation, especially with opposing viewpoints. Instead of preparing a rebuttal, focus on understanding the other side. Question your assumptions regularly. Keep a journal of beliefs and review the evidence supporting them. Engage in discussions with diverse groups of people. Be open to changing your opinion when presented with solid evidence. Use critical thinking frameworks to analyze information objectively. Learn to spot emotionally loaded language in arguments and media. Separate facts from opinions deliberately. Challenge anecdotal evidence with research and data. Be mindful of social media algorithms that reinforce your views. Take breaks from echo chambers online to broaden perspective. Consider the source and intent of the information you consume. Practice humility. Accept that being wrong sometimes is part of learning. Teach yourself to value truth over comfort. Ask yourself, would I change my mind if the evidence is strong enough? Avoid overconfidence in your knowledge. Stay curious and questioning. Reflect on past situations where bias influenced your decision. Use thought experiments to imagine alternative outcomes. Encourage others to present counterarguments respectfully. Reward yourself for recognizing and correcting biased thinking. Create a habit of evaluating new information from multiple angles. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate bias completely. It's to reduce its influence. With consistent effort, you can make better, more objective decisions. Confirmation bias is powerful, but awareness gives you control. Your mind doesn't have to be a prisoner of old beliefs. By questioning assumptions, you open the door to real learning. You can see the world more clearly, make better decisions, and understand others more deeply. Remember, it's not about being right all the time. It's about seeking truth and growth. The next time you feel certain, pause and ask, am I seeing reality or just what I want to see? Challenge your comfort zone and watch your thinking evolve. Share this knowledge with friends and family. They might be unaware too. Apply these strategies daily to reduce bias in your life. Your awareness is a first step toward better judgment. If you want more insights into how your mind works and how to master it, this channel is for you. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson in psychology. Comment below with a situation where you notice confirmation bias in yourself or others. Your mind is capable of incredible clarity. Take the step to unlock it.